Okay. Stream is back up, theoretically, in like 2 minutes.
They probably didn't hear that comment then.
No, they didn't. Your line went to waste.
Damn. I'll have to repeat it.
I know.
Fucking thing sucks!
I really love having a Bill O'Reilly soundboard. I'm just saying.
Do you have a soundboard to that? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I couldn't just have a guest without
So
sound.
now that I finally got this damn spectator mode, we'll have to do a little playing around with it and
Okay.
come up with
They're
a
in.
nice spectator screen. Are they in the match?
Yes.
Okay, so
Go,
I'm
go, go.
spectating. I'm gonna spectate on Magician.
Okay, I'm gonna keep an aerial view until it gets into the action, and then I'll attempt to switch around. I will probably try to
Alright, so here we
restart
go.
playing after this.
Yeah, here we go. I think they're already running right at each other from the looks of it. Okay, so there's already fire happening.
Contact. Looks like, again, SJR preferring to fight down in the actual bog, doing a little peeking around the big rock. Heim's taking some damage in that Timberwolf. Let's check
Yep,
on him
just
if we
shooting at
can.
him. Got Twinkie Overlord and a Direwolf, who's taking some hits to the CT. But right now it's Direwolf on Direwolf, and one of the
Looks like
SJR Direwolves
okay.
just went down. That's Pie Maker.
Two more SJR, really low
half
health.
nerfed.
Heim's got an open CT, but otherwise he's pretty fresh.
Madge just overheated briefly.
New target acquired.
You took the score here. So we have 3 SJR guys down, and EMP is fully up. Magician just went down, so let's...
Adi and Heim are really weak. Adi goes down. First SJR kill of the match. Heim is weak, but he's staying up and he's in the back. It looks like this one is pretty handily going to go to Imperial.
Yeah, it's down to the final 2, and one more.
Just
and
chasing
that's
down a RHoD and a Firestarter.
it. Yeah, Firestarter's almost legged, so it's a Rhodian. And there it is. So that was Fast
Well.
and Furious. It was over in just
Yeah.
under 3 minutes.
It's pretty brutal. Just got into a brawl down there in the lake, and yeah, boy, this one's going to be fun to draw on that map.
Yeah, screenshot this. I'm going to screenshot this.
Thank you, because I just hit the exit button when you said that.
All right, so while they're getting set up, let's talk about what they brought, why they brought it, and I mean, it's pretty simple. There's no strategy really other than go at each other, outshoot each other. There'll be some flanking maneuvers in there.
What happened to paint? Paint is no longer a source. Damn it! Ah, this is so hard. Well, there wasn't really much to draw. It was basically, they went to that spot on the map, they brawled it out, and that was about it. The nitty-gritty probably just comes down to focus fire at the end of the day. You know, SJR couldn't capitalize on those weak opportunities. Like Heim CT was totally cored from that first part, but he managed to get away the whole round and do quite a bit more damage. So I think that hurt him not being able to finish him off.
Yeah, we're looking here. I'm just looking at the numbers. You had half the SJR team in the hundreds, and then the balance in the 200s, and then on the EMP side, you had mid 200s right up into 424 as the highest damage. So definitely a big difference in damage numbers, which obviously pushes the win into EMP's favor. Now that engagement zone, there was a bit of a funnel there. The 2 direwolves were shooting at each other, and the direwolf, the EMP direwolf, was ahead on that by killing the SJR direwolf, which was Pie Maker, and who was it on the other side? That was Twinkie and the direwolf. So he went 06 with 358 damage. So he did his job, tanking a bunch of damage and dishing it out in return. And how did the Pie Maker do? He did 268 damage, and he only shot. That was all on the direwolf. He was, from the looks of it. Now, as far as taking direwolf, let's see here. Unfortunately, the screenshot doesn't show every mech. But on the EMP side, they took 3 Stormcrows, a Direwolf, Timberwolf, a Hellbringer for the ECM, and 2 Firestarters. Firestarter S's.
Okay, I've got the
Pretty
maps
much
up
a mirror
now.
match there.
Yeah, there really wasn't much to that, and honestly, it's a pretty weird engagement spot. You really don't see a lot of action in the swamp in general, let alone around the D5 rock, but sure enough, they both wanted to go there. SJR wanted to repeat their plan, and EMP took it to them.
Yeah, the next drop is... well, I'm just going to pull up the RHoD list just to make sure I don't say the wrong thing. So the next drop is a 400-ton drop on Crimson Strait.
That should be an interesting one.
Yeah, we're going to see some fire starters and some Stormcrows here. It's a fairly light drop at an average of 50 tons of mech, so they'll probably squeeze in. I wonder if they'll squeeze in a Hellbringer or a Timberwolf, try to see if they're going to make use of that ECM again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd think they'd probably go for the Hellbringer over the Timberwolf just because of the low tonnage and the ECM. ECM makes a huge difference, you know. People say it doesn't have an effect on competitive play, but ultimately it's a lot harder to focus targets when you're under ECM. So it can actually, just one is enough to get the job done a lot of times.
Yeah, just that information denial is so key because it's hard for the enemy team to call a specific letter, and then you have to rely on visual targeting by chassis identification, and then of course damage information is denied, so you don't really know who is truly crit until you start seeing them smoking. That's something for a lot of people out there may not realize. When you see a component still intact but smoking, that actually means that it's open and crit. So if you shoot at that one more time, you're likely to knock off that component. Little tip for the competitive people. So at 400 tons, we're going to expect to see fire starters, Stormcrows, possibly streak Kit Foxes and Stormcrows here, actually. That could be an option. Those streak crows are nasty.
Yeah, it's definitely a different game when there's totally no restrictions on the chassis you take. You just do not see a lot of inner sphere.
Can you grab, Bill, can you grab the Crimson Strait map?
Yes.
Throw it in, throw a layer, and make an OBS layer with the Crimson Strait map. We'll have that ready to go. We can talk about what they do for the engagement.
Okay. Looks like they're just populating the lobby now.
It's 1-0 now. Score. Update the
score.
score.
Yeah, score. Right. Yeah, in case the viewers did not notice, I am not the most organized person in the world.
Bill's a writer, not a shoutcaster. No, we'll make a shoutcaster out of you.
Yeah, it might take a while.
Where's that soundboard? You need some comic relief.
I know, right? Well, you know, I'm kind of just waiting to spring Bill on you later.
All right, so Magician, I'm looking here at the friends list. Magician's in the mech lab, so it looks like they're still getting set up.
Yeah.
And he's online, so we're probably gonna be firing off pretty soon.
Yeah, probably about a minute or two.
Yeah.
Although that's, you know, without crashes. Yeah. And I don't know how you competitive players did it with sync drops. That is what just killed the enthusiasm for me.
Oh, that shit! I know.
Back in the day when it took like 3 hours to get badges.
You know what you said? As soon as private lobbies come in, I'm going to play competitive. And you never did. You
because I'm so lazy. I like sleeping in. Do you know what time I had to get up at today? It was like 7:30. I normally get up at 10. If that. That's really stretching it for me. So I'm showing dedication just by showing up here.
All right. But anyway, your cheese whale is always much appreciated.
Yeah, I would. Honestly, the rule set that I really like is the tournament that I'm running, so I can't... I don't feel comfortable competing in that one. Because that's the other thing that kills me is like the stalemates. I hate stalemates. I just hate sitting there and waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, but a lot of time you're jockeying for position. You know, so sometimes you get that stalemate because one person's got an advantageous position, and you kind of stuck having to either find a good angle or take a long route in order to get into an engagement distance that's favorable for the team that's not set up.
Okay, so
That's
Heim
always
says that SJR has island side and EmP is on the inlet. So,
Okay.
any guess for what these teams are going to do? You have quite a bit more experience playing them than I do.
I mean, if I was, it's a 400-ton drop, so there's two ways they could play this. They could, SGR could decide to play the long game and post up at the island and try to force EmP to come at them in the water if EmP is taking a short range. If they're both long range, I think EmP will go over the saddle, take the top of the platform, and you probably will see some trading between island and platform if that's the way they go. The other option is they all go over to Bravo 3 area, and that's where we'll see an engagement over there around that hill. That's basically between Epsilon and Theta on the Conquest map.
I honestly kind of like the fighting over there. It's a part of the city that you don't usually see, but it's got some good fights in it.
Yeah, and it's a good spot to. It's about equal. Well, I shouldn't say it's equal distance. It's probably a little bit favored to the island side, but there's a good approach for EmP going that way. A lot of buildings to give cover, but we'll see. We'll see if anybody gets creative here.
Looks like they are still in lobby, not ready yet.
Yeah, I'm planning for this 400-ton drop. You're probably going to see. My guess is going to see possibly some streak mechs. If that's the case, then it's gonna. If the other team is long range versus streak mechs, then they're just going to want to kite as much as possible and kill those streak mechs at range before they have a chance to even do anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if we'll see like a camp out. I know that I've seen EmP sort of sit back on like the corner of the D6 hill out there. And it seems to be a really good position. I'm sort of hoping this doesn't end in a standoff, but there's always a possibility.
We'll see. Does it look like they're firing off?
Still haven't heard anything from Heim. I am checking my friends list just in case they forget, because Siri says that people always forget, and wow, that's super bad for me.
Yeah, before the launch, Heim Delight I see is monitoring the chat. So before the launch, just give us 10-second heads up or something before you hit the launch button.
Oh yeah, he's got me on Skype. No worries.
Okay, so you get there.
So, how was your birthday, you big sexy beast?
That was a good time. It was basically a 3-day celebration. So
Nice.
Are
you still hungover?
No, I'm not that big of a drinker. Up late, but that's about it. But that's why I hadn't played much MechWarrior in the last over the whole weekend. I missed out on that whole pot of gold.
Yeah, but still, they've
tournament.
got this. The Halloween rewards thing is back, so that's good. But I was really surprised they put out a C-Bill event, and happy. Okay,
Yeah,
all
now they just
16 are
need
in
to-
lobby, so hopefully they're going to launch soon.
Yeah. Now they just need to put modules on sale again.
Oh man, I would kill for modules that I don't have to move around. I am just too lazy. I can't do it.
They've got I'm just keeping an eye on Magician here. It still says he's in lobby.
Heim says about 1 to 2 minutes until drop or connection or whatever. So should be fairly soon. Hang tight, folks.
Do you have that layer set up for the Crimson?
Yeah, it's up there right now. As good as it's going to be. Some things need to be adjusted about this overlay so people can see all of the things and yeah, whatever. Total work in progress. But
For some reason, your stream paused on my screen, so...
I've been having a lot of weird problems with that on Twitch lately. Whenever I'm trying to monitor my stream chat, it's like my stream is never actually playing. It's kind of weird. But hey, whatever. If it's working for everybody else, it's good enough.
So, I guess while we're killing a bit of time here, I'd like to see from the people in chat, what do you guys think about trying to bring... Oh, wait, they just deployed.
Yep.
Thanks for the heads up.
Go, go, go!
Alright, so I'm spectating on Magician, Homeless Bill spectating on...
Probably go home delay.
Time delay? Okay. And this is a Conquest drop 2, so this actually will prevent the camp. I forgot that drop 2 in RHoD is Conquest.
Oh, that'll definitely change how this plays out.
Okay, so...
EMP is immediately heading to the right.
So we have... I'm just looking high, so... I'm going to pan over to SJR. What's EMP doing right now? Looks like they're going down the Alpha Bravo line.
Yeah, EMP is heading right into Bravo 3. Looks like they're heading towards Epsilon right now.
Okay, so SJR is running what looks to me like the island strategy. They've got some long range. They've got 2 Stormcrows, a Hellbringer, and a Wolverine. 2 Hellbringers, sorry. So they got 5 mechs at island. Their lights went over to the platform. So they're running around at the top of... Well, it looks like they're heading back into the water. So they've spotted EMP now. What's EMP doing?
EMP is basically just setting up on Epsilon and Overwatch on Epsilon, making sure they don't get hit. I see a lot of... Oh man, I wish they could change within the same team.
Yeah. Looks like their SJR is now moved into the water. They're sitting just out near the boat, and they're basically setting up what looks like a firing line.
Imperial's shifting right and engaging now. They're trying to catch him out in the water.
Okay, so the key difference between these drops is SJR went for the ECM with the Hellbringers, and EMP brought Timberwolves, sorry, and a bunch of Stormcrows and Firestarters. And the Wolverine 6K. I know Magician's been running that a lot lately. So let me hand into the spectator mode.
Yeah, they both got UAVs up.
See what kind of trades Magician's making.
Looks like
Already we
EMP's
have one
doing pretty
SJR
good.
player down. So it's 1-0.
Seleth is taking quite a bit of damage in his Stormcrow. He's almost cored out CT, sitting at 56%.
Acquired. New target. New target acquired.
G-Man's pretty much nerfed, and G-Man just went down.
Two down for SJR, none down for Imperial yet. Heim's almost cored CT, but he's still putting out good damage. Fully loaded Timberwolf.
Magician's just poking with his large lasers. Oh, he just lost a second large lasers, so his arm's almost torn off. Then he's gonna have to move into medium range mode.
Lights are engaging each other, and it looks like EMP's lights are going to take
5-1.
that.
Yeah, 5-1 EMP. 6-1 EMP.
Yeah, it's just down to
Yes.
Jaeger and Magician.
Yep. Jaeger is in a totally different area. He's
Oh,
pointing
man.
to B2. Let's
Madge,
see what's going on with
Madge has
Jaeger.
got a medium laser. That is not good for him.
So
Jaeger's at least got armaments.
Jaeger has moved to Alpha 3 to reposition as they push into Magician at the island. So
EMP does not know where he is. They Don't appear to, anyways. Let's check in on the lights.
Open here.
Oh,
Target acquired.
Twinkie's got Jaeger, and it's
Oh, you gotta take the
over.
map down. You had the map.
Oh, shit! Fuck! Man,
Okay,
this
just
is...
the time for the end of screenshot.
Yeah, jeez. Well, thank you. Oh,
Oh.
damn. Well, that was, this is going even better by the match.
You suck.
I know. God damn. Okay,
Okay,
we're gonna move
sorry,
paint down
guys.
below that forever. Oh, God. Sorry. All I can say is...
This fucking thing sucks!
Alright, well, I guess let's bring paint back up, since that was what everyone was looking at the whole
we
time.
can tell people
And,
how the fight went down.
Yeah, we're gonna draw it out. It's gonna be great, but, you know,
Yes.
that still doesn't make me any less sad with what happened. Okay, so,
All right. It's just, this is you got the AM radio version for drop 2. There you go.
man. Okay, well, SJR was over here, and they basically moved up in the water here, and they basically just sort of sat in the water and traded the whole time. I mean, did you see him taking a whole lot of cover? I mean, I saw Madge fall back at the end, and I saw Jaeger push forward into Bravo 2 at the end, but it seemed like most of the time they were just trying to trade.
Yeah, they basically, what they did was the main beef of SJR went straight to the island. The lights went up to the platform to spot. As soon as they saw that EMP pretty much did what I think they expected them to do, which was come down the Bravo line, and so the lights met up with the beef, who went into the water, and they ran sort of alongside the boat to get shots at them. And I think that might have been maybe the mistake. I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but they kind of dug down into the water, maybe trying to protect their legs. And
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to me like... Okay, hang on, wait. Just want to make sure I'm not missing another drop. Okay. Okay, but it seemed like they were just trying to get a firing line out there, which is not always a bad idea, but EMP used the rocks to get a lot of good trades without taking a ton of return fire. And they just ended up making the better trades there. I don't think the SJR lights were super aggressive there. Like, Heim was definitely sort of on his own out in Charlie 3 at a couple of points, and only towards the end did he get pushed. It was just sort of like they stalled out in the water, and it just didn't end up trading well for them.
yeah, it just I think they should have done maybe some more long-range damage, as much as they could anyway. The Hellbringers, the Hellbringers can tank kind of well by shielding with the right side. Try to get some early damage in, keep the range advantage. I think that was potentially that potentially should have been maybe a little more time at the island, and try to get EMP to engage them by coming into the water, so they can poke shots at them. But I think what SJR was trying to do was maybe take the water, protect the legs, and shoot their legs out if that's what they had in mind. Just didn't really work out that well. They had the buildings for cover, and they were able to rotate out. I'm just looking at the damage numbers. Let's see here. So the low high range for SJR was 62 on the low. Unfortunately, I don't know what that was. RHoD. I think he was one of the lights. 62 on the low, and then Jaeger 12 at 459 with the 2 kills. And the third one going to Grey Fox. And then on the EMP side, it was 187 on the low, up to 464 on the high point.
Yeah, those low damage
Pretty
numbers
big difference.
definitely make a difference. When you've got one guy neutralized doing under 100 damage, it's pretty hard. Well, what is our next map? Our next map is going to be Alpine Peaks, and I'm gonna get it loaded up, but I'm not gonna put it on the screen because we're not having this happen again. Oh man.
All right, so
Man.
I was wondering what I heard the TS pinging away, and then I wasn't sure why.
Yeah, I got a
Thought-
poke
thought it was
like
creepy
most of the
people.
way through the match. And I was like, yeah, I'll just look at this after the match. Oh yeah, yeah, good thought. That really worked out. But eh. I'll put it this way: my second cast can't be worse. So only good places to go from here.
All right. Well, it looks like Sealith is also streaming the
Yeah.
raw stream from his perspective, so people can open up Sealith's stream as well. I'm not sure what kind of delay he has.
Yeah, I believe that 3 streamers from EmP and then SJR's official stream is also putting it out there live. For,
That's
you know,
usually Jaeger who's doing
when I
that.
fuck this up massively again, feel free to switch over to one of those so you're not just staring at a map the entire game. So,
So lobbies hasn't been formed yet. I'm just watching status here.
yep, no word
Starting
from
to
Heim
get
yet.
formed.
So,
Okay, Twinkie's in the lobby now. So, oh, sorry, Twinkie.
my
Wrong
guess is
person.
we've probably got 4 or 5 minutes to drop. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and read some of this chat because I'm sure it's pretty great. UI 4.0.
You know, and Jaeger was doing really well with his Hellbringer. So I don't know if that was just he was
Honestly,
chosen last.
I've seen a lot of those do well just because they've got that left side tank. You know, they end up at, 40 or 50%, but they're still totally functional. They've got all their weapons. They've still got ECM. I think it's a really strong chassis if you've got the tonnage for it. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
that
one of my
Timberwolf is
favorites.
taking over it, to be honest. Just depends, I guess.
Yeah. So this next drop is a 450 tonner on Alpine, and this one is in skirmish mode. So we'll have to see how they play this one out. But this could very well be a trading match. But we'll
We're
see
going to
what these
try to
guys
make
do.
this... Oh, man. Oh, God.
Yeah, most people prefer Alpine in Conquest because you don't end up with the traditional sort of take the hill and snipe at it while the other team tries to come up the hill or trade from another hill, and it's kind of fucking boring. But Conquest version of Alpine actually forces some battles to happen, and often happens in between those 3 points. that are
Yeah, I
down low.
definitely like Alpine on Conquest. On the other 2 modes, it's just shit. It's just that I-9 hill where you're either on the right team or you're on an incompetent team or whatever, but that pretty much dictates it. But have some interesting battles play out.
Mm-hmm. It's a map that I forget what league was it that actually wanted to take out Alpine. I think there was the discussion in RHoD actually was to remove Alpine from RHoD, if I remember correctly. But I know there was one league that was debating doing it, just because Alpine has had such limited options, viable options anyway.
Thank you to whoever reminded me to update the score. Because,
Again.
man, I'm bad at this. But, alright, Heim says...
Okay, Magicians in lobby.
EMP is Team 1, SJR is Team 2. I don't really know what that means on Alpine. Do you know what that means for...
Yeah. On Alpine, hold on a sec. I just want to pull the map up myself. So depending on where they set up their spawns, because don't forget, you can in private lobby you can actually choose where you want your guys to spawn. So Team 1 spawns on the sort of the northwest side of the map. So comm tower side. If you're in Alpha Lance, all the way out to sort of a little bit north of low base, and then Team 2 gets to spawn on the south side of the map, where the one team can actually go right to the upper base, or the big city, I should say, big base.
I see. Okay.
So sometimes what happens here is if you were in, I think what they're going to do here is they're probably going to take the hill. You see some teams go to the far back hill on the east side of the map, and with the expectation that the other team is going to come up the usual I-9 hill, and then you get some trading long range across the valley there. The other way to play this out that could happen is they set up and fight around I-6, Hotel 6, and that's kind of close to the small base down below, where there's a rise that gives Team 1 a bit of an advantage climbing up that hill. So if they can take that hill first, they can assert a dominant high ground position over Team 2.
It's true. That said, they're not going to stall out on the cap point like most pug teams do, at the I7, J7 cap point, where most pug teams just get that and then they just sort of sit down there. Hopefully we'll see something a little more exciting than that.
Yeah. Don't forget, this is skirmish mode, right? So
wait, is this skirmish? Not? I should really probably learn RHoD rules. Just checking,
So the
making
way it
sure they
works,
haven't launched
actually,
already. Okay.
sorry, it is conquest mode. You know what? Fuck, I keep forgetting they change these rules. All right, let me clarify that. It's conquest mode, but it's like kind of like a king of the hill mode. So you can only cap 1 point on the map.
I was
And
going to
on
ask if they
Alpine,
restricted
that's
that, because that's smart.
Yeah, that's on Alpine Peak. So basically what happens is if you camp and the other team just basically caps theta and then takes the majority of it and then backs off, then they can back off and basically over theta and force the other team to get into a bad position. So that's actually how that's played. So change your map mode there. Theta is in I7, J7. It's sort of sandwiched between the big I6 hill and the small J7 hill. So you can certainly expect the spawns will be Bravo and Charlie, Team 2. And for Team 1, I'm going to guess it's going to be... could be Alpha Bravo. Could be Alpha Bravo, because they can... Alpha side, if they're the lights, they could get over to Hotel 7 and have an overwatch top of Theta. So I kind of like one's positioning here, because you can get some longer range shooters shooting down from Hotel 7 and just grinding out at longer range. So let's see if they take that position. They might even just do a full-on firing line overlooking Theta to punish the other team trying to punish Team 2 trying to get there.
It says launching in 30 seconds. So we're pretty close here.
Yeah, and there are no strikes, so that's the other thing too. Is there's the free headshots that often happen in competitive play with the repeated strikes are completely eliminated here.
That said, I would argue that on Alpine it's probably the least big of a deal, because there's not a lot of spaces to get bunched up and really get a big strike in there. But obviously it does change the dynamic. You don't have to really watch where you're standing and move around. All right, paint is down and the game is up for this one.
All right, take the screen down.
Genius. One guy's left to ready up.
Okay, well, they're in lobby.
I feel like I should have worn a bum jacket and put on a fake beard for this.
I know. I'm so used to your avatar in Kiki Torrents. That's
I know,
like this bearded old
totally
man.
the opposite.
I know. Yeah, this is going to be I think it's going to be a pretty fast fight. 450 tons. I mean, so what are you doing? You're from 400 tons to 450 tons. You're basically upgrading your Stormcrows.
Pretty much, there's not a whole lot else they're gonna do, and I think we're gonna continue to see all clans. It was kind of interesting to see that large laser Wolverine with Madge last round, but
Well, it's
they clipped that
great
arm
on this
off,
map because it's cold. You could even
very true.
go. You can even get aggressive and go with a 4 large laser build potentially. The 3 large, 2 medium seems to be a bit more heat efficient. It's what I liked running as well. And then also, if you lose your arm, you still have a head laser. So it means you stay in the fight.
Still waiting on that one dude, apparently. So
Yeah.
hang tight. You've all done this before if you've played this game, so.
So I could see here, possibly even a pair of Wolverines, in order to buy some tonnage at the top end. So they could probably do, a Hellbringer or 2, pair of Wolverines, and then they can run Timberwolves that way. And this might be the map where you see the Raven 2X make an appearance with the 3 large lasers.
You're right. That would be a good choice
map.
for this map.
Well, just that poking. It's so freaking annoying.
It'd be interesting to see how it plays out if one team brought real lights and one team brought poking lights.
No,
Time is not amused. Not yet. I think this guy's AFK, so...
Yeah. Every time I see my friends list flip, to keep checking to see if they dropped. So yeah, the Alpine drop here makes the most sense in this kind of mode. I really like the King of the Hill concept, where basically the rules are if one team is camping and the other team manages to cap out just that one point, they can essentially win the match. It gives you a secondary win condition, and that also prevents the whole bullshit associated with a light mech running or a disconnect where you don't know where the hell that disconnect is. Although in competitive, the nice thing is if there is a disconnect at the beginning, it's a redrop, and if it happens mid-game, I mean, they'll just tell their team where to find it.
Yeah, but
So
I
it's
do
any
like rules that
douchebaggery.
encourage fast fights. Shameless plug for Major League Mech Warrior. That's why those rules are designed that way, so that when you're tied up, it goes to Conquest to force action, and then when one team is down, it switches to Skirmish. So there's not really a chance of camping at that point.
They just dropped.
Yep. Alrighty. Okay. No map on the screen this time. We're looking good. This can't go
Take the
worse
map
than last
down.
drop.
You're not muted. That's good.
Hopefully. Maybe not. Who knows?
Okay, so here we go. Just loading in right now. So I can see right now, just from my perspective, Raven 2X. Aurara's in a Raven 2X. You've got Heimdallite. Looks like he's in a Timberwolf. Definitely see a Firestarter 9S.
Yeah, Audi and a
Possibly
Firestarter.
two. Stormcrow. What is taking this so long?
It's because
Is
the
it
match
frozen on your
start.
side?
Yeah, it's because match start they don't let you fly around. I don't know, but whatever. It's a spectator tool. I'm sure that this was like a few days of some guy's time. This is not fully featured. But Paul said that he's actively working on, pushing Solaris, real stat tracking, real spectator mode, all sorts of stuff that, is really needed to push the competitive scene to the next level. So it's really good to hear that inside PGI there's a voice for that kind of stuff. I get the feeling that because we haven't started yet, that someone has failed to connect or crashed out. So surprise, surprise, we're going to be waiting for a few more minutes.
I hear the music.
Do you? I don't. I
hear
have
the
music off. I
started.
haven't had music on. I didn't even remember this game had music.
Okay, so I can pan around now. Let's
Yep.
see what's happening.
All right. I'm gonna go check on SJR. Looks like SJR has three Hellbringers, and a Timberwolf, 2 Stormcrows, and 2 Raven X's. They are all about peaking. I'm curious to see what these Stormcrows look like for loadouts. Let's go take a look. Piemaker and
Okay,
G-Man.
Yeah, so SJR is right now running 2 Raven 2X's, so this is the right map for that kind of mech. They're running 3 Hellbringers, 2 Stormcrows, and a Timberwolf. So they're going with that whole information denial and the high mount. They are climbing, SJR is climbing the hill, heading to I-9. So they're going to take the position of overwatching the cap point.
And it looks like, whereas the Stormcrows have on SJR are built for peaking, Selith is in a Street Crow, or rather JP, sorry.
Yep.
I'm looking for if they've got another one or if he's it.
Okay, so Addy's taken the cap. And he's dancing around now at the cap, so let's see what's happening on SJR's side. So it looks like they're still taking some time to get in position. They are trying to take that high ground position that I was talking about, which is actually the opposite team I thought would take that high ground position. So interesting move on their part. They're just going to set up a firing line. And I don't think it's really relevant because right now EmP has the lead on the cap.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. That JP, the Street Crow, is going to be completely neutralized if they decide to sit up here and just poke far enough away. That said, you're right, they do have to eventually move in and figure it out. EmP is just sort of hiding out there so SJR can't outpoke them. I suspect if they feel like they're making losing trades, they'll probably just fall back and force SJR to rush Theta.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this from a Magician's standpoint right now. He's running a 2 large, 2 medium, 2X. Piemaker's running 3 ER large in his Stormcrow. G-Man's running 2 ER large and 3 mediums.
EMP's running really
large
long.
out of the Hellbringers. And the Timberwolf's running 3 ER large, so they definitely came in with a plan to just play the long game.
And EmP is honestly looking a lot the same. Heimdallite's Timberwolf with 3 ER larges and a Gauss. You know, Twinkie, standard Gauss, and 5 Meads. It's just going to be a poke battle for a while here until SJR feels like they're forced to make a move, probably. Yeah. But I think the EmP is going to sit back and force them.
That cap is ticking. I mean, it's at 70 points right now. And
what does it have to get to for a win?
Well, if it caps up fully, then they win automatically. But if it times out,
I see. It's just on timeout.
Gets it. Yep. So at some point, SJR is going to have to go and either flip the cap or try to neutralize it. And I mean, there's no point neutralizing. You got to just flip the cap, and then hopefully own the high ground and punish them for trying to take it back.
Heimdallite and Ghost have taken the most damage, but neither of them have it done in anywhere that's critical, and they're both only down to 90% anyways. It's so far pretty slow.
In the 90s too. So these are very, very light trades that are happening at, you know, outside of 1500 meters.
Ooh, it looks like SJR is going for the cap. I see Madge and Grey Fox going for it. Let's see how this plays out. EmP is not hitting him hard from what I can see. And the fact that they don't have strikes right now, I'm sure, is a pain in the butt.
It's a major...
Oh, and SJR's flipped it.
Okay, well, I mean, they got 100 points difference right now between the two, so...
Yep. And it looks like the Ravens are retreating now that they've got it up to full cap.
Yeah.
So now it's EMP's move.
So, monitoring the trades right now, Heimdallite's taken the most damage, and I know Heimdallite often plays very aggressively and likes to poke and poke and poke, but he does know when to back off once he takes enough damage. And
EmP is shifting left. It looks like they may be gearing up to move. I don't quite know yet, but they're definitely getting in formation.
Gray Fox is 88%, so he's taken the most damage, but it's pretty superficial damage. He still has orange armor all around his 2x. Aurora's pretty fresh.
Okay, EMP's moving up to the I-6 ridge. We'll see if they're going to try to peek around that right side and provide support while a couple of them cap, or what.
I'm just flipping around to see if there's any actual crit components by anybody. But let's see here. No, that's just a Hellbringer with an open right arm, so he probably only had a few points on that arm anyway.
Looks like Adi and his Firestarter is running real short range, like the Street Crow. So that's basically they're 2 mechs down during this trade. SJR has just brought all the trading, so we'll see how that goes.
So Himes looks like Himes getting punished by the invisible terrain, which really fucking sucks. He's using advanced zoom, and the lasers are hitting the hills between him and SJR. Nothing's more frustrating than thinking you have a clear line of shot.
Adi's going for the cap. He's going to try to get it back now. He's doing it alone, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
but I think SJR is going to start really poking on him.
Yeah, this is really dangerous, and he's taking a little bit of damage, but not too
Ooh,
bad.
he's pulling back. He's pulling back. He went to
His leg is
74.
open.
He got torn up, so he retreated.
Addy's leg is open, so...
Well. Now the onus is really on EMP to make a move here, and they are, by the looks of it, losing the trading war here. So if they keep this attrition up, I don't think it's going to go well for them. Oh, then again, G-Man, Cord CT, and that Stormcrow. Wow. He's got to be extra careful, because if they manage to snipe him, they're up a kill.
Yeah, he's been poking a fair bit. I wish we could see damage numbers, but... Yeah, he's backed off. G-Man's definitely backed off. I'm just gonna flip back to aerial.
Oh, is Mag going in for the to fill up the cap? I thought I just saw a Raven doing something. Boy, I wish I could...
Hive Delight's down to 60% now. He's managed to spread that damage really well. He doesn't have any open components, but he's got a couple of dark orange shoulders. The side torsos are taking a punishing.
So SJR is now up on caps, and they continue to rise. G-Man now almost dead. Now if he doesn't keep his
EMP flipped it back to their side, so EMP is taking away.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought Adi like half decapped it.
No, he flipped it over.
Maybe I'm just used to it going slow.
Yeah, I'm watching it from the SJR perspective.
Okay, well, then thank you for the clarification. G-Man is basically just piecing out. He's like going up to the I-10 hill.
Red team is...
I am pretty...
sorry, you're right. It is
yeah,
SJR.
I'm watching on the stream right now, and it is. SJR's up. G-Man is like in the back of I-10 now. Like he's just getting the fuck out of the fight, so they can't see him, they can't touch him, they can't find him. Is he just gonna like shut down up here? That would be epic. But that's pretty much what's going on. Back to the trading war. Just doing their thing. Looks like EMP is stacking up on the corner of Theta to try to do something.
Oh, the Raven's in a dangerous position right now.
Yeah, he got aggressive.
Oh shit. Magician's in trouble. His back's
CT's
open. He's getting chased.
EMP is on the cap now. EMP is going to be aggressive. Oh, yeah. So now this is it. This is the final push.
This is it. Okay, so Sealith is almost down. He's down to a Goss and a medium, but that could take the... Yeah, Magician's in trouble.
Yep, that Hellbringer is almost gone.
He needs to get it up and over that hill. Yeah, there he goes.
And he
so
does.
Magician's bailing out.
Ghost for SJR is not looking good either, although that is a Hellbringer, so that's deceptively low. Jaeger sitting at 92%, totally fresh in that Hellbringer. Heim's down to 28%. He is really looking bad. One more tap and that Gauss rifle might just explode and take him out.
Yeah, there's going to be some kills.
One down
here.
on,
Sealith is one down.
Witherin is
Magicians.
also down now in his Timberwolf.
Yeah, now we're 3
Grey
out,
Fox
3
dead for SJR.
out. Yeah, 3-2. Just
This
getting,
is
getting
ooh.
close. Magician
And
just got
honestly,
nailed.
SJR's remaining players are weaker.
Yeah, the guys
Ghost
that are
is
left
one shot.
are-
CT G-Man is basically now he's trying to make his way back to the fight because he knows they need him. Boy, oh boy.
Ghost is completely fucked up.
Yeah.
He's cored CT in his Hellbringer. He does
Eminent
have
is
left
not
arm,
that
but-
bad. If they manage to clip his right torso in the Raven, he'll pop. But if they don't, he'll be fine.
Here, so
Street
they gotta
Crow is
hit
not looking
these.
good.
Yeah, the Stormcrow's
And it's
useless,
down.
So he's down.
Not that that really mattered. Two of the players left for EMP are lights. So now it's Twinkie and an alright Timberwolf. Eminent. Oh, Eminent's also in a
Yeah,
light. So
this
it's
is
just
going-
lights.
Yeah, this is gonna go SGR's way. I mean, their Stormcrows couldn't do anything with the streaks.
Potentially, I don't know, man. This is SJR is still worse off on health, and if they can kite him properly, yep, 2 more for SJR down. They're coming back.
So what's Aurara's status? Aurara's pretty fresh. He's
Adi is so close to dead. He is legged, but he's not stopping.
oh shit.
Oh man,
Yeah, you're right.
I think they've got it. I think EMP turned
is
this
ahead by
around.
1. So, oh no, it just flipped, and EMP is now it's 2-2.
Now it's Piemaker. Piemaker in his Stormcrow Prime with 3 ER larges versus the remaining 2. Which is a Timberwolf Twinkie,
So
fairly
right now-
fresh, and Aurora in his poking light. So this is going to be a tough one for Piemaker to
Yeah.
pull off.
So
He's gonna have
Aurora's
to deal with
got
that
an
other
open
Raven.
right torso. We've got Twinkie, who's more damaged in the back than he is in the front, so he can actually he'll take some licks here. And I think it's going to be Twinkie's going to pull this off. I mean, he's running Goss and 5 needs and a Timberwolf. As long as he doesn't get anything in behind him, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think even Aurora in the Raven is going to be...
Yeah,
Is
and
gonna
his
be
right
tough.
torso's open, so a well-placed shot on that right torso, and he's done.
Oh, you say that, but that's harder to do with those ER larges and the sounds.
Yeah, so Piemaker is open CT, but his right side's still fairly intact. Nothing's open, so I'm guessing he's got a right torso and a head laser right now. So he's just gotta, he's gonna have to shield with that right side as much as possible. What do we have here? There's a little bit of dancing around. They're just jockeying for a better position for the
Yeah,
looks of it.
Piemaker's trying to separate him, but
Yeah, and that's a long way to go. They're running the clock right now. I think it's 1:42, and if the clock runs with the clock runs, I can't
you're right.
remember
If
what
he
the rule
could
is.
just make it another minute, he'd be all right.
Yeah, EMP gets this. I think they're just trying to avoid getting killed.
Got a minute and 15 to finish him off. And the Timberwolf has found him. And I think that's going to be it.
Oh, there's a default. Epsilon
Ooh.
got capped.
Ooh.
That's a default.
Wait, is that really how
that's
that
what they were
works?
talking about in the chat.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, yeah. Now I wonder if they'll replay it or if they'll just take the default. But
Well, whatever. That
EMP
was a
or
hell of a
SJR?
match.
that was EMP. EMP actually took
EMP took it out.
EMP took Epsilon, and they weren't supposed to.
Pretty good damage spread. G-Man really got neutralized early on. It looks like he took some CT hits that kept him out of the fight. That said, JP and Adi, the 2 short-range builds that Lords had basically did nothing just because they couldn't. They just didn't
They
have
got
the range.
Yeah, completely shut down. I mean, JP got 57 points, so
Yeah, but
know,
Aurora doing work in that Raven.
yeah, and he was running 3 ER large, not just regular large, versus Magician's 2 large, 2 medium. I almost think Magician, for that plan, he should have just ran 3 large. I don't think he really used those mediums at all.
Yeah, I saw a lot of them ended up going ER large, but then some stayed medium, I think, just in case it did get into a rush. But there you go. All right, let's, I guess let's get this map up.
Are they
While we
redoing
wait
the
for-
drop? Let's see what they...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting for word from Heim, so I'll let everybody know as soon as I know. I don't think this is 3-0. I think it's a redrop because I capped Epsilon, but you know, I haven't really been on the ball tonight, so I'm not gonna make any assumptions there.
You know, I didn't even notice that they tapped Epsilon until I saw somebody say they. Until somebody said in the chat that they forfeited that drop or disqualified that drop. Okay, so they're they're treating it as a loss, and they're going on to the next drop. So that's too bad, because this was sort of an exciting near finish.
Well, whatever. All right, let's adjust the score right away this time. Getting better at this. So I guess.
Yeah, that's
SJR is going to take that one by default. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was a fun match to
technicality,
watch
right?
either way. So I can't say I'm unhappy that we get to watch another match here. So.
Yeah. So our next drop. Well, let's talk about this drop actually, because I'm sure there'll be a little bit of time.
Yeah.
The
let me get up.
the damage numbers. I
There
just I did a screenshot of that, and with the exception of G-Man, so G-Man got forced. He must have poked too high or something. He only did 88 points. He did get a kill, so he must have just taken a huge beating trying to get a kill shot, and probably went for a full burn, and they just gave him an open CT in return.
Must have popped up, and 2 guys just had a beat on him when he did it, and
Yeah.
immediately went from, you know, like 90-95% down to 70. It happens sometimes, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
I don't really remember where the spawn points are, but you know what? We don't need to, because that's not the important part here. We're gonna do EmP in red. Yes, my paint skills. Basically, they just went for that early cap and then just kind of set up around back here and then just moved around there.
Yeah,
Guess I might as well mark
SJR
the cap point.
Yeah, SJR gave Addy a lot of time to get to the cap and then get out of there without taking a single point of damage. I think maybe, well, I don't know if it was obvious right off the bat or not, but they just went straight for it. So that can be dangerous, because if the other team goes straight for it as well. But the one thing about private lobbies is you can see where the starting lances are on your enemy team, and if you know the maps, you know roughly, you can surmise what their strategy is going to be based on where they start their spawn.
Pretty much,
Or at
although
least what they
SJR
can
went
do
all the
anyway.
way up and around this time, it was interesting to see them pretty much totally ignore the cap point at first. All they wanted to do was get supremacy up on that ridge and sneak one of their lights in there once they felt that they were winning trades and EmP back down. And that's exactly what they did. You know, they just snuck a light in right there and out, and that was it. And EmP just didn't get a lot of fire on their lights at all. Not having strikes certainly didn't help them. At one point during the match, EmP sort of came back up to this corner, and RHoD swung out to try to cap it, but he got that leg exposed before he could get it fully decapped and ended up just retreating back. But when EmP made that push, they ended up getting the better trades. When EmP pushed straight through the cap point and up to the ridge, SJR started taking some big hits, and by then G-Man was literally up like here, just trying to avoid everything so that they didn't kill him, which was frankly smart because they were winning on caps, and it forced them to do that. But it did take him away from the fight for a little longer than I think would have been good. I think he should have parked a little bit closer so he could at least get those lasers on if he needed to, because he needed to. I think they thought they had it locked down, but
Yeah.
there you go, live and learn.
Yeah, but it's just like we said, the long range trade off, it was just so common with this map. Thought maybe having that one cap point would try to make something different, but it really didn't. I don't know how they ended up grabbing EPs by accident.
I don't
That really
even
sucks.
know where is Epson, like...
EPs is by Hotel 7,
Hotel
so it's the one just to the north of it, Hotel 6, Hotel 7.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I think when they were repositioning, they must have at some point ran through EPs not thinking about it, and that ended up partial capping it.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that aren't very fun when they happen. I really wish PGI, I know you're out there, PGI, watching the stream, someone there, so please give us a capture the hill mode, some sort of King of the Hill. I just want one place to fight over, maybe Crazy King, where it goes all over the place so we can see different parts of the map, because these maps have a lot of good places that never get seen. Think about the the hilly lake in Caustic Valley. That's kind of a nice little place. No one ever fights out there because there's no reason to. Most of Alpine, totally unseen. Look at the little base in the lower right in K12. You never see action around there just because there's no point to going over there. I'd really like to see some mode that opens that up.
Crazy King, you're a Halo player when you actually know what you're referring to.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Whatever. That's the only other multiplayer game I have ever cared about was Halo 2. So there you go.
Yeah, actually, people are gonna say that's not MechWarrior, but Mech Assault on the Xbox, the original Xbox, was actually what prompted me to buy an Xbox and get on Xbox Live, because I wanted to play a mech game so bad that I whored myself out to a console. and I played a lot of it, and the one thing, I don't know if you remember, if anybody's ever played Mech Assault, but the Ragnarok, which was if you finished the campaign, you unlocked the Ragnarok, and you had a shield, and you could click to activate your shield, and PPCs. So here's the thing, surround sound is the best thing. So with the surround sound system in the Xbox, you can actually hear an incoming PPC burst. So I would just kind of time it so that I flick the shield on just before it hit me, and that
pretty awesome.
shield would absorb it. And I remember one guy raging, "How the hell do you know I'm shooting you in the back?" And I'm like, "Surround sound, yo." That was it. He's like, "Damn."
Fucking hacker.
Yeah.
That was actually a fun game, as much as it wasn't MechWarrior in any way, shape... Well, it was in some ways, but in the most traditional ways, it really wasn't. But it was a fun game. It was an interesting take on it, and it allowed people to, just get right in and play and not worry about the customization. I mean, as much as, I love customization, a lot of people are just like, fuck, I don't know what's a good mech. Can you just give me something to drive?
Yeah, exactly. So our next map is Frozen City. The King of the Hill cap point is Theta, so that puts us in an interesting location on the outside corner of the map. This is this will be interesting. I guess it's the most equidistant, really, from both teams. So it's basically a generality push. So we're going to see Team 2 spawning in Charlie and Bravo, and Team 1 will spawn in and Charlie and Bravo as well, with the fast mechs going to be spawning in A3 already in Generali. Same with the lights for Team 2. So that'll be a fast and furious race to grab Theta, and then it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the fight goes. Will they fight out in the plane? Will they fight at the bend of Generali, which is a really tight lane? And I don't think they'll do that. I think what will happen is we're gonna see a lot of action in Bravo 4, Charlie 4.
It's interesting how much the way that map has played since it. Wait a minute. I think they might actually be playing it out on Alpine. That's maybe what I'm hearing from Heim.
And this is a 300. Oh, yeah, they might
Maybe.
redrop.
Maybe I don't know. Whatever. I won't know until they drop. But
They might have decided to just do it as the next drop, because because EMP is leading and they want to have some more map variety. Who knows?
I hope so, but it's like, remember back in open beta when Tunnel Rush was a thing, like a third of the time, and then the other 2/3 of the time it was just, you know, Camp Ridge, and that was it. But now it's shifted so dramatically. Well, I guess it's because of the spawn points. It's not for no reason. It's because they put that one Lance down there in Delta 5, so everybody else moves up. Just the traditional NASCAR way.
Tunnel Rush was... I don't even know why Tunnel Rush was a thing. I guess because it was assault mode, and that was the fastest way to get to the cap. So a lot of people had to watch for that Tunnel Rush, but... you don't see it at all anymore. You might get lights that kind of try to flank you through the tunnel, and that's about it.
Okay, they are dropping on Frozen City, this next one, so...
They are dropping? Alright. There. Yeah, this is where we may see a fierce light-on-light battle. I think we should try to pick the lights. Addy on one side.
Okay, I'll take Adi.
Grab him because he went for the cap last time, so I'm gonna guess he's gonna go straight to the cap. They might play it safe though. They might not. Neither team might not even go for the cap because it's kind of a death wish when you get out there. You can get shot at a lot. We'll see. This will be interesting. Kind of nice to finally see a different format. All right, so looks like oh, PGI Tina was online.
Yeah, I've been attempting to watch the chat, but I'm doing really not so well with it. Yeah. It's really hard to just not have paint up the whole round.
I've got a dual monitor setup, so it kind of helps. And
I've got a dual monitor setup too, but like the second monitor is really shitty and it's kind of far away, so I should probably fix that.
So they're in lobby now, the looks of it. Yeah, both Twinkie and Magician are in lobby on my list, so I think it's going to be happening soon. So this is 350 tons, so this is going to pare down
this is light.
The beef. Yeah, it's a very light drop. So, you know, this, and it's a small map, so I would expect to see Streak Crows and maybe Streak Foxes, but we're definitely going to be seeing some fire starters for sure. Maybe somebody might, one of these teams might go balls deep on Streaks. We'll see. It looks like they just dropped.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yep. Dropped. All right, let's turn paint off.
Okay, so remember, you want to focus on Addy. Let's see what happens with the lights. I'll do a quick scan and see what the builds are. Well, there's one thing we know it's not going to happen is a tunnel rush. That's definitely not going to happen here.
Sadly.
Okay, so looking at the SJR side, they took the upper side, their blue team.
5 fire starters, 2 Mad Dogs, and a Stormcrow for EMP.
Okay, we got 2 Kid Fox, 2 Adder, and 3 Stormcrows. What the hell's my last guy? 4 Stormcrows. Okay, he was just way offside. So
right.
Now let's take a look and
the
see what
lights
their
are up at
loadout
armpit
are.
right now. I see small pulse lasers, Streak Crow, or Streak something.
Yeah.
More small pulse
on the EMP
lasers,
side?
medium pulse lasers. Yeah, this is all EMP, small pulse. Yeah. So it's basically small pulse, Streak SRMs, medium pulse. That is all they have, literally.
Okay, well, yeah, and EMP is running Mad Dogs, streak Mad Dogs. And there's already a kill per side. This is just sloppy.
Goot
Oh,
and
here we go.
Heimdallin are down. Aurора's down. God, those streak crows are just brutal.
I'm just gonna watch the percentages. So we're 2-1 for EMP.
Seleth and his
Fox
fire starters
and
really hurt. A
Magician are
crow's
gonna go
about to
down
close
real
in on
fast.
him.
Yeah, it's just pure streaky goodness. Like I said, it's gonna be a
Wow.
messy streak ball.
And that it is. Oh man, there's a puma?
Wow,
Why is
this
there a
could go
puma
either
in this
way
drop?
Right now. It's
I have to
4-4.
know.
Ryden's about to go down. I think one more shot on him.
Jaeger's fresh in his Stormcrow.
Wow,
Just
yeah.
took down Atkinson. Oh, Twinkie just killed Adi.
hey,
Oh,
last guy,
team kill.
Twinkie. And he's only half operational, so this
Wow,
is an
an
SJR win.
adder. I did not expect to see that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and that was over
A streak
in 2
adder,
minutes.
too.
2 minutes.
I
Streaks OP,
think-
PGI, please nerf the fuck out of him.
I think that that adder might have made the difference for SJR. Look at that. It's up there with 258. I think everyone just totally ignored it because who the hell brings an adder or shoots at an adder? They also brought a Kit Fox, and I'm guessing similarly they were loaded with streaks. I think that ended up being a good choice for them, and the direct fire lasers just didn't chop them up as quickly.
Yeah, the key difference here, I'm just gonna paste my screenshot.
2-minute battle time. Wow.
We had fire starters on the EMP side and 2 Mad Dogs, so that's where the weight went. They went a little heavy on the Mad Dogs, and they had a Stormcrow. Heimdallin and the fire starter just got melted before he could do anything. The Kit Foxes on the SJR side were the ones that took a beating early, so they clearly wanted the quick kill right off the beginning. But those Stormcrows, those 4 Stormcrows on the SJR side, did all the heavy lifting for the most part. They accounted for 6 of those kills, and they averaged about 400 points of damage.
Yeah, I mean, those streaks were just insane. That was wow.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's what I said. Like a light drop like that, you just go balls deep on streaks, and
I mean, I don't
rip
even
into them.
I don't even know how much of that is actual like in-game skill as much as it is like luck of who, you know, gets focused down in those first couple of seconds, and then the actual. I feel like the drop deck itself almost has more effect than how you play that, because that's just sort of a slam into each other, and that's all that happened. I would draw this, but you know, EMP went up to the ridge, SJR went up to the ridge, and they fought. That was about as simple as it gets.
Yeah, and then they probably thought that, like, no point capping that's not really relevant when you have a light drop like that. You're not going to peel off players, but I mean, there's certainly. I certainly expected to see a lot of streaks, and like I said, I think whoever goes balls deep on the streaks definitely would come out ahead. And those fire starters they just get destroyed. 2-3 alphas, and that's it. They're done.
Well, that okay. Time to update the score. 2-2.
So 2-2.
SJR
So now
is
we're
still
getting
in it
into a
now.
nail biter, but let's just talk a little bit about damage numbers. So the adders, the streak adders did 258 and 184. So we didn't expect them to do too hot, but they did all right.
284 is respectable for, I mean, streaks. That's still a lot of damage going to those lights for a mech that really just probably totally got ignored. This minute they saw the flamer coming out of its face, they were like, well, leave it.
Yeah, what really sucks is Ryden, he lasted a long time. He was down to 20% before he died. But he dished out a shit ton of damage, and he did 658 points. So, I mean, that's huge. And unfortunately, there was just better production out of the SJR Stormcrows as a team. And they probably likely shared a lot of that damage, too, as they moved around. It's pretty hard to maintain locks on the exact same mech through the entire fight until it goes down, because there's just so much crossing paths, and
Well,
Friendly
and they
fire.
had some
Oh,
elevation changes there. I actually watched a Street Crow play Ring Around the Rosie with a fire starter that it was trying to just get one alpha on. That's all it needed, was just one alpha, and that fire starter was dead. But
Yeah.
yeah, that one, those are just fast-paced, hectic matches. I've honestly never been a fan of those kind of matches just because it is so seemingly luck of the draw, where it's like, well, a couple guys got down, a couple guys got ignored, but nevertheless, it was a hell of a fight.
I think this would have been a more interesting drop if. I mean, I know RHoD's never been one to ban things, but if you could have no lock-ons and watch this play out, it actually would be a more exciting fight. Just on the lightest tonnage drop, no lock-ons.
I will definitely give you that in light drops like this, lock-ons just sort of cheese it out because it's hard to hit lights, and it's not with streaks. There's pretty much, I don't know if, I mean, these are basically the best pilots in the game, and,
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to clip those legs off of moving lights, especially with the janky, bunny hop, jump jet tap. You're better just going off with RNGesus. Pray
Well,
for salvation.
RNG, and also the fact that you have a light that crosses your teammates' streaks, and you just ate a shit ton of your own teammates' streaks, and that really fucking sucks too.
That's
That
true.
could
I
have
think
happened
that
to
might
Heim. He
be
could have
how.
taken it from both ends.
Well, you saw that Twinkie killed, I think it was Audi. Team kill. And then that's probably what happened. I could be wrong
Yeah.
there, but. Or they were
Yeah.
just getting greedy, which is,
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
really,
real
really-
excuse for team killing is, I got greedy. I would do it again.
Yeah, and Atkinson was in a Firestarter A. He opted to go with we had Heim and Atkinson in the A's. So that right there forces you to have to get closer to your target to get your full pulse damage, your small pulse damage. So that's kind of shitty too.
Still, though, it's a good map to bring him. If you're going to bring Small Pulse, I don't know that you could do much better than Frozen City. At least for the way they were playing it, which was just go up to the ridge and slam into him.
Yeah, the Firestarter A's are just brutal, but when you've got streaks coming from your teammates at different angles, I just don't know how safe being in a closer range Firestarter really is. I just think there's too much potential for team damage. I wish they would put that in the team damage in a column here. My God.
I wish they would just list the mechs in my after brown screen so I can actually see all of the mechs. I know that's just a bug that they'll get to eventually, but it does make this a little more difficult.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to close that out. Let's talk about next drop. So next drop
Yeah,
is
that
the
map.
2222 on Tourmaline. And Tourmaline Desert, nice big map.
My
Gamma
favorite
is-
map.
Yeah, it's it. Except for hitting stupid crystals.
Even with the crystal hitboxes, it's still my favorite map. It's just got a lot of movement. It's got cover, but it's got wide open areas. I like that it caters to, many playstyles. Like LRMs can be very effective on the map, but if you're smart and you hide under the crystals, you'll never get hit by LRMs. So
Yeah.
I appreciate there's like that diversity there. You can bring a brawling deck and do okay if you know how to navigate the map.
Yeah. So, the Alpha Lance here, I think this is going to be, well, let's see, 2222. I'm thinking trades. I think Team 1 is going to set up in Delta 5, Delta 6. It's the ridge of Tourmalines that overlook Gamma, often referred to as the stage.
Yep.
And then the opposite side are probably going to post up at Fox 5, which is the crash dropship. So I don't know. And you might see some lights in the beginning, maybe try to cap Gamma. The advantage here, I think, goes to Team 1's Alpha Lance. I think they're just a little bit closer, but it's dangerous. They get up and over that stage, and they could get jumped on pretty hard by lights coming through Fox 4 into Echo 5.
Lobby is populated, and they are getting ready to launch pretty soon here. Is this a Conquest drop, or...
It's the same thing, right? So you have your King of the Hill like Gamma in
Okay.
the middle. Yeah.
So the Echo, is that still at Echo 5, or did they move that?
Still at Echo 5.
All right, so that's our one cap point they'll be fighting over. Yeah, definitely then they gotta... Oh, wait.
Yeah.
That
Well,
means
it's
I do this wrong.
2-2-2-2.
That is not where the stage is. Stage is, like, here. There we go.
Yeah. So you're 2-2-2-2 here. We might see possibly the Raven 2X make an appearance again if one team plans to trade. I mean, at the top end, we're gonna probably see dire wolves. I'd be surprised if we see anything else. I mean, I guess if anything else, maybe the stalkers, just because they're a little bit faster and have the high mounts where you can shoot over the tourmalines and use get most of the body cover. But that's the only alternative to the direwolf. I mean, it's one or the other, and of course, naturally, Timberwolves, maybe a Hellbringer. One Timberwolf, one Hellbringer for the ECM for the team. And obviously Stormcrow and
I sort of expect
Firestarter.
SJR to go Hellbringers and EMP to go... okay, they just launched, so go ahead and get in there. But I sort of expect EMP to bring Timberwolves and SJR to bring Hellbringers like we've been seeing all night.
Yeah, the only problem is the Timberwolves' lower arms there kind of screw you. So
I just think
I'd
having
take the
ECM
Hellbringer.
is... Especially because you got
Yeah.
the dead side and all the stuff. I don't know. I
we'll
just...
see in a moment.
Yep. All right, I'm flying around. Let's see. And for EMP, got a Stormcrow, Raven 2X, 2 Direwolves. We've got Audi and a Firestarter, another Stormcrow, and yep, 2 Timberwolves. So 2 Stormcrows, 2 Timberwolves, a Raven, a Firestarter, and 2 Direwolves.
No, so there we go. Stalkers on the SJR side. So they decided to go for the high mounts, backed up with 2 Timbers, a Stormcrow, and a Wolverine. And then Grey Foxes and a Raven 2X, and then we have a Rhodian and a Firestarter. So I guess
Audie's taking the cap right now, so EMP is going to get the cap lead early while
shit.
SJR
Grey
sets
Fox
up.
just got legged at range, so
Really?
now we've already got an early kill. Damn.
Wow.
So, yep, EMP's already up. So that Raven got caught poking, and he was trying to cross to rejoin the team, and just got fucked. So,
Wow. Well, that was quick. I didn't even see him go down.
Yeah, I just...
Well,
Eye
the
in
rest of
the sky, saw
SJR
that.
is fine. Like usual, Heimdallite taking the most damage, being super aggressive here. He's down to 75% though. He might have to back off and take a few trades.
So the Stalkers here are not shooting enough. I mean, the whole point of the Stalker, I mean, they're even hitting the tourmalines right in front of them. So even though they've got the high mounts, they're afraid to go too much because they're taking Gauss shots right now. Conditions down to 91% already at that range. The Jaeger just took a hard Gauss shot to the chest.
Yep,
The
see a
Rhodian's
couple of
down to
UAVs
81%.
up. Let's get over here.
So it looks like the Heimdallite really took a beating early. This is his playstyle, though. He plays
Yep.
super aggressive in the beginning and then has to back off and then play
Imminent
smart.
seems like the exact opposite. He's almost completely fresh here, sitting at 99% in his Timberwolf, and he's getting good shots on the Stalkers out there. Heim is just backing off. He's going to the top of the crystals, trying to get a few shots up there. Let's see what these Direwolves are doing.
Yeah. What are they equipped with? Are they Gauss PPC or are they Gauss?
I am taking a look.
ERs?
Twinkie, of course, 4 ERs, ER Meads, 2 Large Pulse, and 2 Gauss. His right torso is open. I don't know if he's running left side or right side, but if he's running right side, he is about 1 shot away from getting that Gauss clipped out of there. Wait a minute. Somebody just tried to poke me. Please tell me. Yep, the map is still up. Oh, God.
Oh,
okay.
fuck.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Overlay.
There we go.
Okay, it's not too bad. You're
Okay.
only 3 minutes.
And it's
just
basically
early.
just been trading. There hasn't been anything
Yeah.
exciting yet, other than
So-
that leg light dying, which I didn't even get to see. So don't be mad.
So interestingly, Piemaker's running a 6 large laser stalker, but Magician went for the 4 large because it's a hotter map, and generally those torso mounted lasers aren't really going to do a whole lot with tourmalines in your way. So I think I would have opted for the 4 large in this case, so I could be shooting more often. But SJR looks like they're repositioning. They're looking at Echo 6, Fox 6 right now, so they might be making a move to head to Gamma. Oh, speaking of which, hold on a second. Why is Gamma partially, or Epsilon's capped again?
No one's really being aggressive right now. I didn't even see any
Pain's up,
trades
guys.
going on. Hey, sorry, we can't talk now. We're
Yeah, we took
casting.
it down.
User left your channel.
Channel was supposed to be password protected.
You failed. You failed at something. Finally, yes.
It didn't.
I am not the only one that
didn't
fucked
log.
up.
Didn't log.
He probably just is admin or something, so he
So-
gets over it.
Yeah,
Eminent's
Steven's
still
got an
totally
open right
fresh.
torso.
In his Timberwolf. Heim is not looking too good, and he'll probably be okay. He's got his right side still. Atkinson, Stormcrow, right torso crit. Withrin, fuck if I know how to pronounce that. Left torso seems like it's taken Gauss damage from the explosion, but otherwise he's pretty fresh. Raven 2X is fine. So I guess EMP is probably just gonna wait for no, God, no. I know, Siri, I am bad at casting. Siri's trying to call me.
Yeah. They're all telling you that the map is still up. put it in chat.
I know. This is why I
And
hate. This is why I
Steelers
hate
got-
the 2-minute delays, because that's but
Actually, they would have missed more without the delay.
whatever.
All right.
But
So let's see here. So why is there an additional cap happening here?
yeah, like I'm seeing a bunch of different. I've seen caps from the start. Like I don't really know what's going on. Are the rules different for the last one?
I'm
Because
just
it's been.
checking,
Look at
'cause
the points. They've been different since the start. I saw 2 blue caps at first. I thought that might have been just a bug on my client, but that is apparently not what's going on. SJR still just sort of turtling behind that hill, not really keen on going anywhere. I've got to assume that there are not strikes for this drop. And EMP,
Is drop
similarly,
5
just
considered
camping.
a
No one
full
wants to.
conquest mode?
It might be. I feel like it's got to, because it's been like this from the start. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
I should probably read these rules more thoroughly.
I know, right? Who put me as casting this? It's all right.
Yeah.
I will learn for next time, and have map tactics and not just paint.
It's okay. I was more focused on the Major League Mech Warrior, and I had other guys on the comp team looking after RHoD rules, so that's my excuse. You have no excuse.
It was Drunk's job. That was your excuse.
Okay. Well, let's see what's happening here. It looks like there's a bit of a standoff going on.
Neither team wants to even peek up, because EMP knows that they're up on a kill. And I think is that how it will be decided? If there's a kill, will Cap do anything? Jeez, I should
they're
probably
up,
look up these rules.
Yeah, they're up 1 kill because of that Raven, but that didn't stop the early trading. So, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers overall here, and Atkinson and Heimdallite and Sealith are all in the 61 to 67% range. And on the SJR side, they're all pretty much, G-Man's in the worst shape. So let's see, 72%. He's got an open side torso and a Stormcrow, so he's still in a fighting position.
He's
even if
about
he
like
loses that
Atkinson.
side. And Sealith just dropped to 58. Half of his Direwolf was nerfed.
Yeah, if push comes to shove here, the Direwolves are definitely not looking good, and I feel like Twinkie, he is right side heavy. I could be wrong on that, but he's being real cautious, and it's because his right side's open.
See what's happening with Twinkie. Oh yeah, his right side is open, and he wants those full weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm watching the damage numbers here. Heimdallite's at 61%. He's got an open left torso.
I wish I knew how to back out and get back into fly mode. Wait, Tina sent me a PDF. Please work, please don't crash.
Oh,
God.
Page down. Page down.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, that's That's a better view for this trading crap because
Yeah,
nothing
this
is
makes
really
sense
happening.
just to see the positioning. So
Let me
I'm
know
gonna
if
have a
there's
look.
somebody I should switch to because they've taken some sort of serious damage, but yeah, they're just gonna camp it out right now.
Not really. It's just a lot of poking by the stalkers right now. Let's see if the hits are landing. The really EMP is more spread out. Like they're trying to create 2 different angles of fire. It looks like Zealith is sitting out this fight right now. Yeah, he's. I'm trying to see his perspective. What can he hit? I think he just wants to sit at Gauss range at this point. And Aurora, can you check on Aurora? Is he in the ER large Raven again?
I
Or do you go
believe
with
so,
regular
yes.
large?
I believe. No, not ER. I think he's just regulars. I'll double
Regulars
check
on this one.
right now.
He's sitting pretty far back for a regular large. Not sure if he's really getting much damage. Rythen is
Yep,
now
just
down
regulars.
to 66. Time delight's down to 53%.
Yeah, I feel like SJR is slowly winning these trades. You just look at that numbers board, and it's not a big difference.
So remember what I was saying earlier about why you would take Stalkers over the Direwolf? Because you can be shielded from the Tourmalines. So the Stalkers have stayed at F5 at the crash dropship, and basically using those Tourmalines, they've been in the exact same 2 spots for a while and just constantly poking. They are taking hits, but at the range that they're taking those hits, it's not really dropping them down too
And
much.
Stalkers spread it so well. Oh wow, I must have missed. Pure No is dead for EMP? Or, sorry, SJR?
No, for
They got
SJR.
another SJR down? When did this happen?
I didn't even notice
How am I so bad at this? You're bad at this. We're both bad at this. What?
that.
My God.
I'm trying to see where, I'm trying to find Pure No's carcass. Oh, there it is. So he was,
New target acquired.
Oh, also, Siri just poked me, and he said that Gamma and Sigma are capped from the start of the game on this one. Magician has taken some serious hits in his Stalker. He's 2 large lasers down.
backing
He's
off.
open in all torsos, and he is backing down,
he's
yes.
backed off. It looks like he lost his, did he lose his left arm? Yeah, he
Time
lost
is
2
weak
lasers.
CT and left torso. Oh, it looks like SJR is on the move.
Oh, look, Aurara's repositioning. He's trying to get some angle here.
SJR
to
is
pick
pushing
away.
out to the right. I believe that's Echo 6. They are kind of spread out. Their Stalkers are pretty far behind. I don't know that that's going to go well. Adi is... their lights are quite far away, though.
Yeah.
Let's see what EMP is doing to respond.
EMP is getting ready to receive SJR from the looks of it. They
Yep.
see SJR's movement, and you can see them getting into a firing position.
Yep.
They're all looking at that.
They are just
there's-
ready for someone to peek through this little hole here, so
Yeah.
hopefully Goop doesn't get too aggressive. But then again,
Do
SJR's
the-
playing it
do
smart. They're letting the
top down
Stalkers
on
catch up.
EMP. But, Bill, do the top down on EMP just so you can see how they position their firing lines. They're trying to keep. They try to keep.
SJR is moving around all the way in the back. They're getting rid of that first entrance, and it looks like the Stalkers might try to go in while the rest of SJR hits from the other side. That's exactly what they're doing. Coordinated push from both sides.
Yeah, this
and
is
here
a
it
two-flank
goes.
Push.
Let's jump into somebody's cockpit here.
Acquired.
Okay, so we've got 5 SGR dead now. SGR is
Piemaker is
getting
fresh in that
crushed.
Stalker, that 6 large laser
SJR
Stalker,
dead.
and he is just doing work. I don't think they're going to be able to take him down. He is just too fresh.
No. They're
Yep.
just getting crushed here.
And he's
Piemaker's
moving in.
Last guy. Wow, that push just failed because they ran right into the SGR firing, or the EMP firing line.
Oh wow. Yeah, now the Stalker's it.
Yeah, that's the danger, right? You get forced to make a bad play after a while.
Target destroyed.
It was a good push. It was a good effort, and they got EMP quite far down on health. Everybody's crit, everybody's open, except that Raven. But ultimately, EMP takes it. 3-2.
Damn.
Twinkie and that Direwolf. Damn.
So the lights on the SGR side just got crushed. I mean, the fire starter couldn't do anything. Gray Fox was in that Raven. He just got caught. and that I think that actually is your swing right there.
Absolutely. I mean,
Losing a Raven
losing a
2X
light
that
right
early.
off the bat when you're playing the poking game. I mean, they whittled them down, but ultimately they had to push in with fewer players, and that's just never a spot you want to be in.
Yeah, so look at damage numbers. SJR Lights 62 and 13. That's the Raven who got picked off. He got legged in the open. Like that is, normally
It's
as a light, you
heartbreaking.
can make
It's
it,
just
but
luck of the draw sometimes when that happens, but you can't always be aggressive and get away with it. So
yeah, he
that
got
is
caught.
what happens.
Yeah, and then the Pie Maker Magician. I mean, they were 562 and 544 points of damage. So they had definitely won a lot on those trades. Twinkie on the EmP side, 5 kills, 3 assists, 561 damage. He hit everybody. Jeez. But yeah, the damage numbers initially looked like in favor of SGR, but I guess the missing mechs. If you're fighting 6 on 8, essentially.
Yeah, and battle played out pretty much exactly like you thought it would. Stage versus the F5 Ridge,
F5,
and at the end there, I'll do my awesome little drawing. And, it was basically just a trade, and then towards the end, SJR snaked around back. I think they made a good push. They pushed in from 2 angles. They, made sure to spread the attention, not just get funneled up. That said, when you're pushing with 6 mechs versus 8, they were down 2 at that point. The Raven off the bat, and then they were down a Timberwolf. I didn't really catch how that died, but my guess is just got an unlucky trade, and that was it. And EmP did a good job holding their firing line, backing off, and not dying when they were wounded. Heim was alive at the end of that, and, like always, Heim was taking the damage right up front. But then he backs off appropriately and saves himself for when it's needed.
Yeah, that's been his playstyle going back as far as I can remember from when we did Star Titans Rage. And he was like front and center, damage through his back when you could do 2 strikes. Remember that? He'd get his 2 strikes off. And
Oh my god, don't even
back
remind
off.
me of
Yeah.
that shit. Especially when head strikes were like way more prevalent. Like, I don't know if they just changed. I don't know what they changed, but they don't happen like they used to. Because, man,
No, but
that
I've been
was just
seeing it
terrible.
happening lately. I don't know if those numbers changed or not for the RNG, but
I haven't been
in
headstruck
one of our comp matches,
in
we had a direwolf die to
months.
a headshot.
Wow.
Yeah, that sucks. Before he got 1 shot off
Oh.
and died to a headshot.
Yeah, that's painful. But I mean, as far as I can remember, a year ago when they first buffed strikes, that's how it was like. Every match that, more than 4 strikes were lit off, someone died to a head strike. And it was insane. I mean, it still happens. I still don't like that it can happen, but better than it was. But yeah, it was a good match. Just SJR's light got picked early, and I just don't know that they could recover from that, playing that trading game even as well as they did.
Yeah, I think the mistake here, when you look at the split, they split the lights off in Alpha. I wonder if EmP saw that Lance allocation and basically put all their eyes over there, because they ripped down the Raven super fast. And the fact that they were able to put that much damage at that range on him, they must have been able to read that before the match even started.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give it to the EmP guys. They play aggressive, and a lot of teams just aren't expecting that kind of stuff off the bat. I don't know exactly what happened with the Raven, but I don't know if it was getting a little too aggressive or if they just really took it to it hard. But it's just never fun to die like that.
No, that sucks. So that's it. A 3-2 series with 1 EmP default. So, essentially a 3-1 series.
Oh,
guess,
yeah,
but,
score. Right. Should probably put that up for the final couple of
3-2.
minutes here.
Yep.
3-2 EmP. It was a great set of matches to shoutcast, even though this was a bit of a clusterfuck.
Maybe
Yeah.
you and I can set up a proper a proper setup here, so I don't look like some old angry
Sound
white
like
man
Bill
in the
O'Reilly?
stream because I'm far from it.
Are you? Are you really?
I think you're way off.
I bought a webcam.
He should have been
strictly
deported!
for MWO streaming, and I only
Card can't
used
hear
it
that.
once.
I just played. I'm just insulting you with Bill O'Reilly now on my soundboard, but you can't hear it.
Oh no, I can't hear it.
It's terrible. But yeah, next time we'll have this more organized. You know, I tried to get all this stuff set up last night. Obviously, didn't quite get all the way through, and don't quite have a clue what I'm doing yet. But you know what? We're gonna learn, and we're gonna figure this out. Carp knows what he's doing, and we will have him like active in this next time, as opposed to just like chatting through TeamSpeak. So. Everybody that tuned in, thanks for watching. It was a good set of games, and hope to see you back here on MWO League Network with casters that know what they're doing, and me next time.
We need Raffles pre-game setup skills.
We do. He's I mean, from running the war room, that guy knows what he's doing. Even Siri has more of a clue, but yeah, we should probably sign off, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Next time, Bill, I think you should